Hello, welcome back. Right, today, this is a slight change from what I had planned. I was going to be doing a gameplay video today. However, Windows has decided it's going to do a massive update. It's been updating for about 2 hours at the moment. It's only about 78% through, and I really can't be asked to wait. So, as you can see from the title, I've decided to try something a little different, to encourage some conversation amongst us all. And if it works, it's a topic I'll come back to every now and then. So we're going to talk about various things from the specky scene, sort of like back in the day. The first one of which is going to be compilations. Now, I've picked up a few compilations in recent months. I never used to collect them back in the day, but as I've started collecting, various ones have popped into my collection. So we're going to go through them. And what I'm going to ask you to start with is, did you used to collect compilations back in the day? What were your favourite ones? What ones weren't so good, etc. Now, by all means, by no means have I got an entire collection of compilations. I've got about 10 here to show you. And so as we go through them, then just comment in the comment section down below what your memories are of the games included. Also, if you owned the particular compilation itself. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go through some random picks off my game shelf from my collection, and we can hopefully have a discussion about those games as well. And like I say, if it turns out that people actually enjoy it, then yeah, we'll do it again some other time. Okay, first one I'm going to go to is this one: US Gold Demons and Drivers, Ghouls and Ghosts, and Turbo Outrun. Now, I've always thought that the Spectrum version of Outrun doesn't deserve any of the sort of criticism that it gets. I always really enjoyed it. Turbo Outrun I enjoyed less. Ghouls and Ghosts I've never actually played as yet. I do own Ghosts and Goblins, which is incredibly hard, and I'm led to believe that Ghouls and Ghosts is super hard. I think I did have it on the Game Boy Advance. Something to do with Ghosts and Goblins anyway. So yeah, shout out what your memories of those particular games are. Let's get that one out of the way and move on to the next one, which is Giants. Now, following on from that one, this does actually have a version of Outrun, the Spectrum version of Outrun included in it. It's also got Rolling Thunder, which I've never played, but I'm led to believe it's really quite a good conversion. Gauntlet 2, one of my favourite two-player games. 720, which was really good. I do actually own that on its own, and like Outrun, it came with a musical soundtrack tape. And the Spectrum version of California Games, which I don't like very much. I was kind of suckered in by the fact that the Spectrum version of Winter Games was so good. I thought, well, California Games would be really good as well. But to my mind, it's not. Now, that's 5 games in that compilation. I'm not sure what the price of it was when it was released, but they were all $7.95, $8.95 games when they were released singly. So you can see you're getting 5 games there, 4 decent ones and 1 shite one. So that's really good value. Now, following on from that one, I have this, Gold, Silver and Bronze, which contains Winter Games and also Spectrum versions of Summer Games 1 and Summer Games 2, which the Spectrum never had standalone releases of. Now, I've yet to play those games in this compilation. I do, like I hinted before, know of the Winter Games version on the Specky, but pipe up if any of those games, some games 1, some games 2 on the Specky are worth playing. Thank you. Right, we have Space Ace, which contains 7 games, and you can see here it's got Venom Strikes Back, Xevious, Cybernoid, North Star, Synapse, Trantor and Exelon. Some really, really good games on there. I don't know Venom Strikes Back or Xevious. I know Xevious is an arcade conversion, but I've never actually played it. North Star I reviewed a while back. It was okay, I suppose, but the other games are really, really good games. So again, that's a 7-game compilation. And, that would again have represented really good value for money. Trantor's loading screen, I'm sure you all know, is fantastic, the way it sort of bleeds into view. We have winners, with Thunderblade, Lead Storm, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Blasteroids, and Mission Impossible 2. Out of that lot, I've played only Thunderblade, and it wasn't particularly great. I don't think it was great. I thought that would have been a price. Indiana Jones and that was bought from Tandy. That was $12.99. So you got 5 games there for 13 quid. Again, even if the quality wasn't spectacular, Thunderblade wasn't particularly great. That's still decent enough value for money, I think. So shout out on any of those games that I don't know. We have the Bo Jolly computer hits with some great games and some games and some that I don't really know. This has got School Days, Chucky Egg, Harrier Attack, Wriggler are the ones that sort of stand out for me. The rest of them, I don't know. Well, I know Brian Jack's Superstar. It's not very good. Overlords, don't know that one at all. Now, compilations, the first one I can ever remember was Soft Aid, but I'm sure that wasn't the first one, okay? So we have here another Bo Jolly 10 great games. I've actually got 2 copies of this compilation with 3D Star Strike, Blue Thunder, Wheelie, Son of Blagger, Cytron, and Fall Guy. And there's the full games list there. Automania, Wally Week's first appearance. Blade Alley, don't know that one at all. Penetrators, not bad. Son of Blagger, Blue Thunder, never played them. Oh, Boogaboo the Flea's on there as well. That's an insanely difficult game, that one is. And there you go, it's got another copy of it. If anyone wants either of those 2 copies, just give us a shout. I've not tested them, so I don't know what they're like. And the Software House Mix, Dark Fusion, Techno Cop, Skate Crazy, don't know what that one is, whatever that one is, Artura and Night Gunner. I've not played any of those, but look at the price there. It's shouted out loud and clear, $9.99 for 6 games. Again, please tell me what any of those games are like. Now, this is a crap one. Blockbusters, Every Second Counts, and what's the other one? Krypton Factor in this TV special one from TV Games. They're all abysmal. N. Jenkin, I do believe, has covered each game on his channel. So if you're really that interested in seeing what the games are like, then head over to Nick's channel and search those videos out. Right. And we have the final compilation is Soccer Stars, which contains 1 great game, and Microprose Soccer isn't too bad. Gaza 2, I don't know. Kickoff 2 is okay-ish, but the standout title on that is Emlyn Hughes International Soccer, probably the best, or one of the 2 best footy games on the Specky. The other one, of course, being John Rittman's Matchday 2. Of the 2, I prefer Matchday 2 because it's a little bit more easy to get into. Emlyn Hughes is a lot more that you can do in it, but it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. Okay, so that's all the compilations out of the way. Now, we're going to move on to some random things that I've just picked off the shelf and just enter into a discussion about those if people are willing to. The first 2 that I picked out are the first 2 games in an iconic series on the Spectrum. The first one being one of the best arcade ports ever, and the second one being a standalone sequel. We have Renegade and Target Renegade. So again, I'd love to hear your thoughts and memories on those. You will note that I do not have a copy of Renegade 3, and there's a reason for that, and that's because it's utter shite. So, Target Renegade obviously had the 2-player mechanic that added so much more fun to what was already a great game. And for some reason, Renegade 3, they just disappeared. Everything that made the first 2 games good just disappeared from the third one. It looks nice and it sounds nice, but it plays like a pig. Right, so that's those 2 games. One of Hewson's most well-known titles, Nebulous. I know Gravius, Lee Ashton, is a huge Nebulous fan. I can't get into the game at all, although I can appreciate it for what it is. I can see that it's incredibly well designed, etc. it's a really, really one of their most well-known titles, really. And Hewson's library is really strong. There's a few duffers in there. Every software house has got their share of them, but Hewson's were few and far between. The only Hewson game I ever bought that I never really enjoyed was Pyrocurse. But again, let's hear your thoughts and memories of Nebulous, please. I move on to Movie from Imagine for Spectrum 48K. As you see, I've had to write my name on that sometime in the way distant past, just to make sure that my brother or my friends didn't nick it. You know what I mean. I really enjoyed Movie. It's quite difficult and tricky to get into, and I never got very far in it, but it's incredibly atmospheric, and its control system, although sort of clunky, is quite innovative for the time. You know, you had your walk left, right, up, down, etc. Controls, but then to complete other actions such as interacting, you had a row of icons down at the bottom of the screen that ran across, that you could select and use to invoke your actions, etc. So let's hear your thoughts on Movie. IK Plus, probably one of the best fighting games out there. Ditched the two-player mechanic from the So-So International Karate and added a third fighter, which was something that I'd never seen, or I don't think had been seen really, in a fighting game. Certainly some games such as Rampage had the facility to play with 3 players, and the third Exploding Fist game, Fist Plus, basically nicked IK Plus's mechanic, but whilst it imitated it well, it did not better it. Fist Plus compared to IK Plus is a no-brainer. Basically, it's IK Plus all the way. And the Spectrum version of it, although it doesn't have some of the bells and whistles of the Commodore 64 version, it's got fantastic animation. It moves really quickly. It's really, really playable. It's fairly easy to control with keys, I find. I used to play keys quite a lot, especially in fighting games, especially back in the day when we only had an interface that had one slot for a joystick, and me being the youngest, my brother would always nick the joystick, so I had to become sort of proficient at keys, with using keys in some games. Now, moving on, Star Glider. This is my original copy. I love this big box, and the presentation of this product. This is from Rainbird. Obviously, this was a technical gobsmacking achievement for the Spectrum. It originally came out on the Atari ST, I think, and I remember it being included in one of the weekend early Saturday morning TV kids shows, like, I don't know, Saturday. I can't remember the name of it, but it certainly appeared a few times on that. And it wasn't the first time video games sort of started creeping into sort of mainstream television. Do you remember a TV program hosted by Debbie Greenwood called First Class? That was like a quiz show for school kids, etc. But there was a segment in it where they played arcade games, and one of the games was 720. The other one, they used to play Hypersports, and I'm pretty sure there was a third one as well. But that was sort of one of the first sort of mainstream TV things that I can remember from, like games that featured on the Spectrum, etc. Now, Star Glider is wonderfully presented. You get this novel by the bloke who, I hope I'm getting this right, James Follett, who wrote the film Who Dares Wins, starring Lewis Collins. I've never actually read that. You get your key guide, and there's supposed to be a poster as well, but I don't have the poster anymore. And there's the cassette, so bung all that gumph back in there. Real sort of great, especially when you put it in 128K mode. It's brilliant. Excuse me, plays quite slowly nowadays though. And finally, Graphic Adventure Creator. I got this for a birthday probably 1986 the year it was released, so that would have been my 14th birthday. And I got it with great intentions of becoming a whiz adventure game writer, and I lasted about half an hour with it and never loaded it up since. But did you ever manage to create anything, not just with Graphic Adventure Creator, but also with any other creation utilities, such as Paw or 3D Construction Kit, etc. from CRL? Let me know. Anyway, that was just I'll say it was a quick video. I'm looking at the timer now, it's 15 minutes. Just hopefully generating some discussion, etc. If you think it's a good idea, this kind of video, just sort of like showing things and asking what people's recollections are, then let me know. And if enough people like it, then it's something I'll revisit every couple of weeks, especially the random picks off the game shelf. Thanks ever so much for bearing with me if you've got this far into the video. If you like it, please let me know. And if you wish to subscribe to the channel, please do so. It's going to be great to see you. If you do subscribe, as I always say, please make sure that you take the time to join in with the discussions. Thank you ever so much for your time. Take care. Goodbye.